Hello, my name is Julie and welcome to my channel, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make this wavy shell hat. Now the materials I use in this hat is the same yarn I used to make my simple crochet bucket hat. So there was enough yardage in that Oko. Oh, yeah, it's called Ogo. I don't think you can get this yarn anymore. It was enough to make 2 hats, so without further ado, let's get started on making my hat.
To start my wavy shelled hat, I'm going to use some medium weight yarn. This is the same stuff I had used to make my bucket hat, so make sure you check that out. And I'm going to use a size H hook. I'm going to start out by making 12 double crochets inside this magic ring. That's 1, 2. Okay, I have 12 double crochets into my ring and I will pull it shut. And I'm going to join with my first double crochet. I'm going to chain 1, and in the working in back loops in this next round we're going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch in the back loop of this round. So in each stitch around in the back loop we're going to do 2 single crochets. So I'm going to do that in every stitch around. Right, I have done my 2 single crochets in each stitch. And we're going to join with the first single crochet of the round. So that means, I don't know if you can see, these look like we got 2 little loops here. We're going to join with the very first single crochet into both loops. Now in this round we are working into both loops. So we're going to chain 1 and shell into that same stitch, or I'm sorry, do a single crochet in that same stitch. We're going to skip this next one and do 5 double crochets into this stitch. This is what we're going to call our shell. We're going to skip the next single crochet, and in the next one we're doing a single crochet. We're going to skip 1 stitch and do our shell in the next, or 5 double crochets. So I'm going to repeat that around, and I'll join up with you at the end of this round. Okay, I have got my last shell made. You should have about 6 of them total. Obviously I'm going to skip the next stitch and join with the first single crochet, which is like, again, we're going to like pass over these 2 loops, and our first single crochet is right here. It might be easier at this point to put up a stitch marker so you don't keep track where your first stitch is, but that's up to you. So I'm going to join with my first single crochet, but I'm going to change colors. I'm going to change to another color. You clearly do not have to do this. So now that we are going to start a single crochet round, we are going to work in the back loops of our stitches. So in the same stitch we just joined, we are going to do single crochet in each stitch in the back loops. So every single crochet round we work in the back loops of our stitches. So we're going to do 1 single crochet in all our back loops, and I will join up with you when I finish doing that. Okay, I have done every single crochet in each stitch. I'm going to join up with the first single crochet of that round, and now we're going to chain 3. Now again, we're going to work in both loops. I am going to do 2 double crochets into this stitch. Like before, we're going to skip 1 and do a single crochet in the next stitch. We're going to skip 1 stitch and do a shell. Just 5 double crochets. Two, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to skip 1 stitch and do a single crochet in the next stitch. We're going to repeat that around until we get close to the beginning, and I will show you what to do when we get closer to the end of the round. Okay, we are at our end. I have just done a single crochet, and now we have to finish up our shell from the beginning. So what we're going to do is that we're going to find our beginning stitch that we had started in and do 2 more double crochets. We'll probably do that. You can either do it here in this stitch here, or in this one. We're actually probably better off to do it in this one. Do 2 double crochets. And that will complete our shell, and then we're going to join at the top of this chain 3. Okay, be a pain. Come on, now we can do it. It does not want to do that. There we are. Okay, I am going to change colors again. So I'm going to finish off what I have. You clearly do not have to. If you are not changing colors, you would just chain one and start a single crochet. And then we're working in back loops again in each stitch, but we're going to increase only 2 single crochets in this round, but I will show you what to do after I change my colors. We are starting a new row. I'm changing colors, but like it says, you don't have to change colors. You would have joined, as I showed you before, with the chain 3 with the top of. I'm changing colors, but you don't have to change colors. You had finished a round with joining with the top of the chain 3. You at that point would have chained 1, and then in the back, working in the back loops again. We're going to do this is our single crochet round, so we're working in the back loops. In this round we have to increase just 2 stitches. So I usually will do it some point in the beginning of the round and some point in the middle of the round we're going to increase 2. So I'm going to, in the next stitch, already increase by doing 2 single crochets in my next stitch. You could have probably done it in the first one, but so that's our first increase, and now we're going to do, still working in the back loops. This is our single crochet round. We're doing the back loops. We're going to do 1 into each stitch till I get about halfway through the row, and then I'm going to do an increase. Oopsie. Alright, we are about halfway through the round, and at the other end I'm just going to do another increase. So I'm just going to do 2 single crochets in this stitch, and then continue doing 1 single crochet in each stitch across. Okay, after we've done 1 single crochet in each stitch, except for doing an increase at the beginning and halfway through the row, we are going to join with our first single crochet. Because this is our shell round, we are working in both loops. So we're going to chain 1 single crochet into that same stitch. We're going to skip 1 and do 5 single crochets. 5 double crochets into the next stitch. Skip 1 and do a single crochet in the next stitch. Skip 1 and do a shell or 5 double crochets in the next stitch. And then we are going to repeat that around our row. Okay, I have finished up this row. You should have 14 shells all together, and I should note that you are done. We are done increasing, and we're about ready to start a 4-row repeat for this shell pattern.
So what I'm going to join with our first single crochet of the round. Now again, I'm going to change colors at this point, but at this point you would chain one if you're not changing colors, and into the, and this is our back loop single crochet round, so you would do one single crochet into each stitch around, and that is going to be our single crochet rounds, which is one round into the back loop of each stitch. So, but I'm going to change colors, and I will join up with you when we start a shell round. I finished up doing my single crochet row, which is one single crochet in each stitch in the back loop. So we're going to join with our first, oh, here we are. We're going to join with our first single crochet. We're going to chain 3, and that's going to count as a double crochet. We're going to do 2 more double crochets into that same stitch. And now we're going to skip 2 stitches and 1 single crochet in the next stitch. We're going to skip 2 single crochets or 2 stitches and do our shell, which is 5 double crochets into the next stitch. I'm going to skip 2 stitches and 1 single crochet in the next. And we're going to repeat that around until I show you what to do when we get close to the end of the row. Okay, I'm at the end of the row, and we need to complete this first shell. So like before, we're going to do 2 double crochets into the stitch from the beginning, or in that beginning stitch. Oh. And then we're going to join with the single, the chain, beginning of the chain 3. I'm going to change colors again at this point, but this is around where you would chain 1 and do 1 single crochet. Here we're going to do 1 in the back loop of that one. We're going to do 1 single crochet in the back loops. So this is, we're doing a row of single crochet again, and that is in the back loops. Right, so I am going to change colors and do my single crochet row in that new color, and then I will show you what to do in our 4th and final repeat row. Alright, I have already joined up, finished my row, and I have joined with my first single crochet of the round. And now we are going to start on our 4th row of our 4-row repeat. So we I chained 1. We're going to do a single crochet in that same stitch. We're going to skip 2 and do our shell, which is 5 double crochets.
skip 2 stitches, skip 2 stitches, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, skip 2 stitches, and our shell in the next stitch. And then I'm going to repeat that around. Okay, I had just finished up. That is the 4th row on our 4-row repeat. So you would repeat them 4 rows until you got your hat length about the size that you, or the length that you wanted. I think I did about 20 rows. And you want to end on a single crochet row to start the brim of the hat. Right, so also I'm going to give you another tip. If you are going to change colors every 2 rows, like I am, so I'm going to finish this off. I'm going to start my new color in the 3rd double crochet. I'm going to start my new color on the 3rd double crochet of a shell. Like right here. That way, when it comes time to do your shell row, you can start with a double. You can start like you can do what the last round was, that you start with a single crochet and then skip 2 and do your shell. That way you probably don't necessarily have to do the beginning shell stitch, but if you're not changing colors or changing yarn and just using one continuous yarn, then you do that 4-row repeat I just showed you until you got the length of your hat. So I am going to finish up my hat till I got the length I wanted, and it might be around 20 rows. And you end on a single, whatever shell row you did, you end on a single crochet. You end on a single crochet row to start the brim. Okay, I got this at the length I wanted, and I ended on a single crochet row. I've already had slipped stitch to join with my first single crochet, and I had already chained 1. So at this point we are going to work in continuous rounds. I am going to use a stitch marker to mark my first stitch. So in this first stitch that we had already slip stitched and chained 1, I'm going to do 2 single crochets into that stitch, and I'm going to mark with my stitch marker. I'm going to single crochet in the next 3 stitches. And oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, we are working in both loops at this point. So that's 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do 2 single crochets in the next stitch. And 1 single crochet in the next 3. We are going to repeat that around until I reach the end of the row. And I'll meet up with you to let you know what we do next.
have reached my stitch marker, which I took out already. Okay, for the next 2 rounds, you're going to do single crochet evenly around. Okay, so I'm going to do my 2 rounds of single crochet in each stitch around, and I will meet up with you what to do next. Okay, I have reached the end of our row. Now we're going to repeat the last 3 rows we just did. So this row we're going to do 2 single crochets in the first stitch. We're going to mark it, and 1 single crochet in the next 3. Two single crochets in the next stitch, and 1 in the next 3. Then you're going to repeat that around. Then after you finish that round, then you'll be doing again like before 2 rows of just single crochet around, and that would finish off our brim. So I'll let you know when I finish that the next 3 rows and what to do next. Okay, I have reached my marker. And that's it. Our project is pretty much done. Just slip stitch into the next stitch and finish that off. And there you have it, my wavy shelled hat pattern. And if you did like this video, please give it a like. And if you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to my channel. And I want to thank you again for watching this video. And I will see you in my next video. Bye now.